When I was younger, I decided I wanted to not get angry. I heard somewhere randomly, if you lie on your back and you put a big heavy dictionary on your stomach and the dictionary goes up, then you're taking a deep breath and it's almost impossible to be angry in this way of breathing. And I don't know if that's actually true or if it was true, but I just did that at the time when I was like 13 or 14 or 15. And at some point I was just like, well, I should just try and do that all the time.
I like the fact that it was a dictionary too, because you're angry and you want to express yourself and you want to get these words out. So you're breathing into this storage facility for words.
You're reading too much into the book.
Perhaps. But I like that as a concept. Like I'm breathing into this dictionary. I'm letting all my words come through, or I'm letting the plethora of words that exist in there come back to me. The diaphragmatic breath is really valuable and important. So when learning to breathe, and it's funny that people need to learn to breathe because it's something we do from birth. And so you watch a baby breathe and the chest expands a little bit and the stomach comes up, and then the stomach comes down and the chest contracts. So it's chest and stomach, stomach and chest. Most people in today's world breathe chest, 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 which is a very short and shallow breath. And they think that your lung is like a muscle. Your lung is responsible for your breathing, but your lung is not. Your lung is an organ. The diaphragm is the muscle. The diaphragm is the muscle that sits underneath the lung that kind of houses it and holds it up above your larger and small intestine. So when you're breathing in and you're learning to breathe into your belly, what you're learning to do is you're learning to extend the diaphragm. Imagine you get like a 2-liter milk bottle. That's a very Australian thing. You get a bottle full of milk. Like what do you guys have, the big one?
Coke
right?
bottle, 2-liter Coke bottle.
A 2-liter Coke bottle, right? And then you tape a balloon to the rim of the Coke bottle and push the balloon on the inside. Then you create like a plunging system at the bottom of the Coke bottle.
Cut off the bottom, put like a suction in the bottom.
Yeah, drawing the suction thing to the bottom of the Coke bottle, it then draws the balloon full of air from the outside because
you're stretching the balloon.
You're stretching the balloon.
Yeah.
So your diaphragm is like that suction thing that's opening up the balloon. So the more you learn to control your diaphragm and draw it down, the more you facilitate the lungs' ability to expand and draw in air. So the breath should be into the belly. So the idea of having the book on your belly and seeing it physically rise and physically lower itself as you hollow out at the end of your breath, there's a real truth to that, because at the end of your exhalation, when you draw your belly button into your spine, this is a point that they had missed to inform you, right? It was not necessarily about the rising of the dictionary. It was about when you draw your breath out, if you push all the air out of your lungs and you hollow out the belly, that moment where all of the breath comes out is where the vagus nerve in the back of your brain and your mind down into your body, that gets stimulated and it releases the pain receptors in your muscles, it releases the anxiety through your body, and it has a physical effect.
So I've been doing something good by breathing that way.
Absolutely you have, yeah. Being able to breathe into your belly, being able to really extend the depth and breadth of your breath, and also being able to release that breath and let it all go and push it all out, especially when you think about anxiety and anger and those kind of issues. When you can let it all out through your breath, that stimulates the vagus nerve again and releases that anxiety. So letting it all go. And another thing I say in my yoga classes is that just because you're finished breathing out doesn't mean your body's finished with that breath. Right? Because the lung is where it starts. You breathe in air, you take your breath in, your body starts to absorb that oxygen, but then it takes time for that oxygen to be put into the blood and that oxygen to be circulated around the system. So just because I'm finished with my exhalation doesn't mean my body's finished with that breath. So taking moments between your breaths, if you wanted to use breathing exercises as a way to deal with stress, as a way to deal with anxiety, the moments between breaths are often where the greatest stillness and the greatest silence can be found. So if you're going to do that with your dictionary, breathe into your belly, fill your belly up, allow that breath to really, take hold, take a second. Let that in-breath be there. And then when you exhale, exhale all the way out. Draw your belly button into your spine. Hollow out your stomach. I promise you, there'll be at least 8 to 10 to 12 seconds before your body needs another breath. We're always very quick, right? You hyperventilate and we get stress and it becomes an issue where we start to very quickly breathe, but you'll be surprised how long your body can use that one breath for. Finish your exhalation and wait and kind of count and see how long you can go before your body needs another breath in.